Skull Vikes, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Viking Spin. I'm your host Jason, and we're going to do a little preview and review. So a preview of the Vikings' upcoming game on Thanksgiving against the Lions, and of course a little bit of a review of the Vikings' victory over the Rams this past Sunday, of which I was at the game. So I've got some sounds of the game and definitely. Got some quick notes as well. Definitely, want to take you guys there though, and give you the experience that I had. Just being at the stadium, and listen here to some of the pregame introductions. Just an amazing experience. as it always is for me when I go and attend a Vikings game. I actually improved my record of when I'm in attendance. The Vikings are now 7-2, and of course the Vikings improved on the 2017 season to 8-2 with the 24-7 victory over the Rams. The crowd noise was outstanding. Mike Zimmer even commented on it, on how we the fans did a great job of disrupting Jared Goff, making him call timeouts a couple of times. So we definitely gave the Vikings a 12th man on the field there on defense. So it was really exciting. It was awesome to see Jared Allen come out as an honorary captain for the coin toss. His heart's always been in Minnesota. It was awesome that he signed a one-day contract to retire a Viking, and I'm looking forward to him getting into the Vikings Ring of Honor. Definitely like to be there for that. It was also a salute to service, which was really cool to see. Case Keenum running out there with the American flag. Daniil Hunter had the U.S. Marine Corps flag. They honored a whole bunch of veterans. Gave one of the veterans' kids that was deployed overseas Super Bowl tickets. It was really awesome to see. So a great event there. A convincing win against a tough opponent. Case Keenum proved he is legitimate. He did that against a very good Rams defense, a great opponent. Latavius Murray looks now like he's in full form. His ankle is fully healed up, and he is really running well. Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, and Stephon Diggs are just so on point and in sync with Case Keenum. The chemistry's been building every week. You could see the offensive line, running backs, tight ends, and blocking is just an A+ all day. Case wasn't sacked at all. They opened up holes in the running game. It was just great, and the defense was outstanding at all levels. After the opening drive, the Rams were not able to score any touchdowns. The second time the Rams got close down to the end zone, the Vikings were able to stop them on a strip hit by Anthony Harris on Cooper Kupp at the 1-yard line. That was a big momentum changer. But really just a statement game for the Vikings, a statement game for Case Keenum, and I couldn't be happier with the result. But on to the game coming up against the Lions. Of course, now the Vikings with the win come into the game at 8-2. The Lions are sitting at 6-4 in second place in the North. This game has heavy playoff implications for the division. In terms of winning the division, the Vikings have the 2-game lead on Detroit right now. So this would go a long way towards locking up that division title. The Vikings are also trying to keep pace with the seeding too. They're currently, the number 2 seed. It would be great to get home field advantage in the playoffs. So definitely a big game. Can't state that anymore. But the injury reports are coming out, and both teams look pretty healthy. But there are some things of note. With the Detroit Lions, he's not on the injury report because he's on injured reserve, and that's Haloti Ngata, the nose tackle for the Lions. Now, he was there the last time we played against them, and after Dalvin Cook went out, we had some trouble running the ball. Murray and McKinnon really hadn't gotten a whole lot of reps at that point because Cook was pretty much taking the majority of the workload at that time, back in week 4. But as we note that things have changed, Murray and McKinnon have improved every week since on this 6-game winning streak here, and the offense is adjusted to their running styles. So it's a totally different ball game there. And now Ngata being out for Detroit, we should have a lot more success running the ball with Murray and McKinnon in this game, especially with them missing their top run defenders. So the Lions have had a noticeable difference when it comes to run defense ever since Ngata went out of the lineup. Overall rankings, they've plummeted now down to 19th overall in rush defense. So it's definitely had an impact. The Lions have a couple of guys that play special teams that did not practice either, um, so far. That was Jamal Agnew, their punt returner, and Dwayne Washington, their starting kickoff returner and number 3 running back. So those guys didn't practice this week. And Ziggy Ansah has been limited. He was limited today. The Vikings had everybody at practice today. Everybody was a full participant, including Xavier Rhodes, which is really good to hear because he had appeared on the projected injury report as a DNP yesterday, but he practiced fully today. So it looks like he's going to be a go. Everson Griffin's going to be a go. And the only guys that were limited today were Brian Robinson, Mike Remmers, and Andrew Sendejo. So everybody else was a full participant in practice. So the Vikings will be either at full strength or pretty close to it come Thanksgiving Day. So that's a good thing. Now the matchups in this game, that it's going to be, like I said, with Nada out, the Vikings offensive line should be able to push the Lions defensive line around a little bit, and that bodes well for the running game with Murray and McKinnon. And of course, when that gets going, we all know that opens up the play action passes for Case Keenum to get the ball down the field to Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, and Kyle Rudolph. So important that we do that. I think we'll be able to do that. And that's a great thing because it keeps the ball out of Matt Stafford's hands, which is always a good thing. And, as far as the Vikings offense against the Lions defense, it'll be interesting to see who Darius Slay covers, if he's going to cover Thielen or is he going to cover Diggs. Are they going to use any double teams? We'll see. And, Pat Shermer will just have to make the adjustments, according to that. But the nice thing about the Vikings offense is you really can't do that. When you have two really great receivers on the outside, you can't really spend too much time focusing on one guy or the other one's just going to go off. So I like our chances there. I like Case Keenum in this offense now versus where he was in Week 4, where the team was still he was still trying to get the hang of things. Bradford hadn't been out that long, and so the Vikings were still trying to adjust their offense to Keenum. The same thing can be said for the running backs. I also think that Kyle Rudolph is a bigger part of the offense than he was, back in Week 4 now. So, Keenum's gotten used to him. He's gotten the trust in him. So that's definitely a factor as well. As far as the Vikings defense against the Lions offense, the Lions are getting Taylor Decker back, their left tackle, who was not there last time we played them. But the Lions are still, have given up 33 sacks this season. So, I don't think one player is going to be the cure-all. But, it definitely does help them a little bit. It'd be interesting to see how the Vikings go with the coverage plan. I think they did a good job last time they were out. Is Rhodes going to be on Marvin Jones or Golden Tate? Or which one will Trey Waynes take? Should be interesting to see there. Kenny Golladay will play in this game, so that probably changes things too. We'll see if they move Tate into the slot a lot. But to contain the Lions, you just don't want to let them get too balanced. They're not great at running the football. And let's take a look at those rankings. Actually, the total offense, the Vikings come in 5th in yards. The Lions come in 16th. Total offensive points per game, Vikings are 10th, Lions are 5th. And the discrepancy there between the yards and the points for the Lions is because their defense has gotten 19 turnovers this season. So they've been taking the ball away and getting short fields quite a bit. And that's why it's important to take care of the football against them. Um, Total passing yards, the Vikings come in 12th overall, Lions come in 6th overall. Total rushing yards, the Vikings come in 8th overall, the Lions come in 28th. So the Lions don't really run the ball a whole lot. And I don't expect that to change in this game either. And that, we put an emphasis on getting after Matt Stafford. Now, the Vikings were able to sack him 6 times last game. And, the defense didn't lose the game last game. I think we did a good job shutting down the Lions offense. We just have to take care of the football better, which I think we can do. And like I've alluded to earlier, Keenum and Murray and McKinnon are so much more in sync with this offense now. I think we can do a heck of a lot better than 7 points. So now defensively, the Vikings come in to this game 5th overall. Lions come in 23rd overall. That goes in yards. Defensive points, Vikings come in 4th overall, and the Lions come in 19th overall. Total pass defense, the Vikings come in number 11 overall. The Lions come in at number 20 overall. And then the total rush defense, the Vikings come in number 2 overall, and the Lions come in 19th overall, defending the run. So, I think in the interior of the Lions' offensive line, the guard Glasgow and Swanson, the center. I think Linval, Joseph, and Tom Johnson, if they can get the penetration inside, the Vikings can do some good team rushing and get to Stafford. So I think I feel good about what our defense can do against their offense. The special teams, of course, they have a really good kicker in Prater. They're down a couple of return men, so I think that's going to put more pressure on Tate to return the football. So we'll see how that plays out. Forbath, yeah, he had an off game last game, but he's still among the league leaders in kicking. I expect a bounce back game from him. So basically, the keys to winning this game for the Vikings will definitely be to establish the run and do that early and often, and make the Lions one-dimensional, like we did in Week 4. And so, if we take care of the football this time, I think we're going to come out on top. That's pretty. We know these guys. They know us. I think it's going to be a close game here. I'm going to say if I had to pick a score, I'm going to go Vikings 27, Lions 20, and we'll see how close I am there. But that's my feelings on the game, and I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Viking Spin. I thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the post game. So long.